What is happening, everybody, and welcome back to another live stream. I got thrown off there. My one of my moderators changed his name, so I got to give him moderating status. But welcome into another live stream. So this is going to be a very interesting one, and we've got a very fascinating project tonight to talk about, and it's completely new. We were just talking off air. There are a few copycats out there, but welcome in, guys. Hydro Whales Mining Club, sustainable cash flow generated through BTC mining, powering the community and compounding investments. And I'm joined tonight by Adam and Sam, two members of the dev team. You could see fully doxed as well. Welcome in, guys.
Hey, thank you so much for having us on here tonight. I appreciate you taking the time for this. I'm excited to be here.
100%, man.
So, Sam, Adam, just for the audience, what time is it where you're at?
So it's just gone 11 p.m. here in the UK, but I mean, the crypto space doesn't sleep.
It's dedication. It's dedication. Well, I'm for those of you guys watching, I'm messing with Sam a little bit because he was like, I'll stay up till 2. I'm like, I'm not going to make you stay up that late. We can get it done. So, but again, I want to reiterate what Zach was saying for our audience, Sam, Adam, is that when we learned about your project, when Zach and I did, and what you guys were doing, and ultimately what it came down to me was the value that you're really wanting to create and deliver to your right now NFT holders. I know you've got a token coming. We will talk about that. That's what I really think is just really, really cool. So what I want to ask is kind of get started. And by the way, for those of you guys who are watching, we're going to do probably what, Zach, 20, 30-ish minutes of we're going to ask questions, and then we're going to ask you guys to hold your questions. Yeah. And then we're going to open it up for Q&A, and then you guys will be able to ask Sam and Adam anything you guys want. So with that said, Sam, Adam, whoever wants to take it, where did you guys come up with the idea for Hydro Whales Mining Club? Why did you go with the hydro mining angle, and just kind of, definitely lay that out for us if you would.
Absolutely. So myself and Adam have been running a Web3 agency alongside one of the other co-founders, Anderson, for the last 3 years. So we've worked with a range of clients in the Web3 space, primarily doing kind of blockchain development, smart contract development. And it actually so happened to be one of our clients, Adam Dignan, one of the other co-founders of the project itself. He was looking to initially launch a Bitcoin mining farm, doing kind of wrapped in a regulated bond here in the UK, just to bring exposure to kind of the average retail investor for cryptocurrency and Bitcoin mining. But we knew obviously NFTs were kind of becoming a bigger trend. So we kickstarted this project back in September last year. But the legal side of things take an awful long time to go through it and have our legal team review all the legislation to make sure we are going to be able to do this without kind of encountering any issues as we go down in the future. So we actually kind of developed this into an NFT project. And one reason we wanted to do, work with this hydroelectricity powered facility is because we know there's so much negative press around cryptocurrencies being mined right now because of, the carbon dioxide emissions it's being caused and the negative effect it has on the planet. But by going down this sustainable route, we are creating ourselves a sustainable cash flow for our community, but it's done in a sustainable manner. And it's obviously, you get cheaper electricity rates when you're going down the kind of the more renewable energy route as well, and these rates are locked in, so it kind of allows us to make more profit in the longer run with this. And we're very fortunate that Adam Dignan, our co-founder, had worked with the facility before. So they're a global mining company. We're under an NDA about exactly who they are, but you can have a look and see who's placing a $600 million order on Bitmain and all of their miners every couple of months. They're a huge player in the game. So we've been very, very fortunate to get into their space, because normally you need 1,000 to 2,000 NFTs, 1,000 to 2,000 Bitcoin miners being purchased at once to get in there. But we're very, very fortunate because Adam's worked with them previously and has a great partnership with them. We've been able to leverage that to get ourselves into there and be able to bring, Bitcoin mining exposure to so many more people than anyone else could afford. I mean, a miner alone can cost $10,000. Then you have to maintain it, pay the electricity for it. It's very, very loud. I don't think either of our partners appreciated us when we've been running miners at home or anything like that. So having it in a managed facility, we're able to kind of scale up massively without having any teething problems. And we have professionals on site 24/7 there. Like we had a miner go down for about 30 minutes last couple of weeks ago. Didn't even notice. Fixed like that. They have official Bitmain parts on site, technicians on site 24/7. And that's the brilliance about it.
Yeah. So that's, again, really cool. So I think one of the key questions I have, so I know, so Zach, I mean, can you scroll down just a little bit since you're driving the website there? Is I want to go to kind of the phases of the project, right? And where they've outlined the phases. And then I want to go back up to wallet splits, but I want to go directly to this. This is what I loved, Sam, is that when I was investigating, covering your project, right? And I was like, and I saw this phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. We're here to talk about phase 4, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. That's tomorrow. We're going to get into that. But in phase 1, there's a line there that says 25 miners purchased. And then phase 2, it's 35 miners. To me, that grabbed my attention. And then I actually went and checked out your Twitter page and saw that y'all were being even more transparent on Twitter about where you were at with the mining, the miners acquired. So again, transparency, right? And you were telling me something before we came on. You've actually bought even more miners than you said you did. So what is?
Yeah. So I mean, obviously the market, we kickstarted this project kind of end of March this year, going through phases, go one by one. Phase 1 was our proof of concept to prove to people, because people are very cautious in the crypto space, and you have absolutely every right to be. So I think we were proving ourselves during phase 1. So that phase, we got 25 miners from that one. And then we had phase 2 and phase 3 in quite quick succession. So, we've ended up with 120 miners, and previously anticipating after those 3 phases, we would have had about 95. So, we acquired 25 extra just because of the market conditions dropping. So it's allowed us to actually acquire more miners and set ourselves up really nice in this bear market. So then once we go on the next bull run, we've got more Bitcoin coming in every month, more than projected. So initially, before we kickstarted this project, we were only looking to be mining around 3 Bitcoin a month. But now once we're finishing this project, we're looking to actually mine over 4.5 Bitcoin a month or more. So it's kind of given us, 50% more on top of that. So that cash flow is going to be quite substantial already, even in kind of a bearish market like this.
Okay.
But you can imagine, 12 months down the line, 18 months down the line, what that's going to really look like.
Absolutely. So Zach,
Yeah,
go ahead, man. I was going to ask, but you may be beating me to it. Go ahead, man.
So we started to talk about, some of the passive income. I think we're hinting at it. So let's talk about the utility of the NFTs and how the holders are, part of this process in terms of the Bitcoin mining.
Yeah, absolutely. So, one key thing for us is that every holder is going to get rewarded. We have an initial 6-month compounding period, which is just where we're having all of the funds we're generating reinvested back into the project to allow us to grow our community treasury and more. After those initial 6 months, holders are going to get paid out a portion of the mining revenue. Then they're going to be getting paid a drawdown from the community investment wallet. So that's going to be every single month. And then we are also releasing our own token. We do have our own tokenomics white paper coming out very, very soon. And a token blueprint. That's going to be coming out in the next few weeks. And then the full tokenomics paper is going to be coming out within the next month. So that goes into a lot more detail. But this token itself is going to kind of, I think, be a bit revolutionary. Something that we haven't seen before out there in the crypto space. And we're all about making crypto easier for everybody that wants to get into it. Your typical mom and pops investors, those kinds of people. That's what we're trying to focus on. We want to help speed up the adoption of the cryptocurrency and make it more mainstream, and just speed up that adoption and keep it easy and user friendly is our goal. And so people can have exposure to multiple different types of crypto with a small fee, rather than needing to go and dive deep and buy thousands of different NFTs and cryptocurrencies to manage it all. But there's going to be a lot more about that in the new paper, the white paper specifically for that.
So Sam, just to clarify, to make sure I'm on the same page and our viewers are on the same page as well, you mentioned the 6-month time frame, and I remember this from a previous conversation you and I had, where so that 6-month clock, if you will, right, starts. I know you already have miners are up and running, but that 6-month clock starts after the phase 4 is sold out, right?
Yeah, that's correct. I mean, we're anticipating 2 to 3 weeks for the sellout of phase 4.
So then that 6 months, so I'm an NFT holder. Let's say I came in on phase 4. I have 2 NFTs I bought in phase 4. When phase 4 sold out, then that 6 month clock. So I'm a holder. I hold for 6 months. At the end of that 6 months, I will start to receive, my respective. And Zach, you had it a minute ago. If you would go back over to the website real quickly, and that may be at the top. I don't know where you're at on the page where it shows like how much. There it is, right there. You scroll past it. It's hard when I'm not driving.
You're right here, the ROI.
Yeah. So Sam and Adam, hey, keep it down to a dull roar. I'm just kidding you, Adam. Because Sam's obviously jumping all over you, talking.
Like Sam knows everything. He's really.
I know. It's like, well, you see,
I does the same thing for
I hardly let Zach talk. I don't want him to talk at all. That's just how it is. Okay. But this ROI here. So Sam, is this like a projected ROI year 1 for each NFT I hold?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, for each NFT, I'd really recommend for anyone watching, we have a 40-page white paper. You can read that. It goes through breakdowns of year by year projections. So that goes where the different revenue streams are coming from, because we're not just a mining project in the longer term. So initially, Bitcoin mining is going to be, our foundations in the crypto space and building out our first revenue stream. But with this revenue stream we have coming into us every single day, we're taking that and putting it into different projects, both DeFi and real world, investing into different cryptocurrencies and launching nodes. So we're creating many different streams for our community. So we're going to have a consistent kind of growth and, explosive growth over the longer term with the ways we diversified the project itself with all these different revenue streams coming in.
Yeah, I think that was cool. So Zach, I'm going to shut up and let you talk.
No, so I mean, I just want to talk about the idea, and I know I'm kind of taking a step back a little bit, but like, what made you come up with this idea to reward NFT holders in passive income in the form of Bitcoin? Like, how did this all come about?
Yeah, so I mean, one big thing for us, every single person in the team, all of the founders are serial entrepreneurs and investors. And I think now more than ever, I think it's been shown why it's important to have multiple different streams of income. Even if you're still working a 9 to 5, you should always be having something else on the side, because, if the economy takes a massive dump and you're needing additional kind of streams if you lose your job, you can have another stream coming in. I think it's so vital in the 21st century to have this. And we know how expensive it was to get into Bitcoin mining, and that's one thing we wanted to bring. Like, we want to speed up the adoption of crypto and the blockchain. So that's why we wanted to have something where we could have, a much cheaper price to get into these projects, to get access to exposure of Bitcoin. Because you want to buy a Bitcoin right now, it's $20,000. I mean, that's still on sale right now, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. But you want to be buying these mining rigs and maintaining them. They're awfully expensive to buy. Maintain is difficult, and they're very, very loud. I don't think your partners or your parents or anyone would be appreciating you having these in your house. I mean, they are very loud. I mean, GPUs are like, having a few GPUs mining still not as loud as having one of these ASIC miners on in your bedroom or in your office. I mean, they make some noise. Yeah. So that's our goal, is just make it Bitcoin mining more accessible to everyone.
So I knew we were going to hold the questions, but this is a good one. And Dillinger Dave kind of read my mind here. We were going there next. The mint price, we could see the mint price for phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. And if I scroll up a little bit, phase 4, $450 per mint. And mint goes live tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern. So talk a little bit about, like, the pricing here. There's some NFTs out there, Sam and Adam, you guys know, and it's crazy. It's like $800 per mint. How did you kind of settle in on this price?
Yeah, absolutely. So we started off obviously with lower pricing as we are proving ourselves, making people have to gain everyone's trust in this space, and very rightful so. And then, of course, what we've been doing is acquiring miners through each phase we're going through. So we are actively using all of these funds straight towards mining, marketing, and legal costs, essentially. So the founders themselves, we do not take a cut from any of these mint or the mint itself. So putting everything going straight back to miners, because in the long term, we are absolutely going to be stacking up these miners, and that's what we're looking for. We look 5 years down the line, not 6 months down the line. We're going 5 years, and that's why the mint price is kind of increasing each time, because we want to acquire more miners. And obviously, if you're getting in a little bit later, we've already had the people take their chance on us. So it's only fair to have that increase there. And it just benefits everyone because it means more miners for the entire community anyway.
100%. One more, Austin, and then I'll jump back to you. So the first 3 phases obviously minted out. Can you talk a little bit about how long that took to mint out all 3 phases, and what are your goals and expectations here for tomorrow, and expectations for when you could see phase 4 mint out?
Yeah, so the first phase took us around a month. So that was kind of the start of the market absolutely dropping.
Slow grind.
It was a slow grind because it was our first phase. We were proving ourselves to the space, to the people getting involved and building our community. Then phases 2 and 3, they took around 3 weeks each. And phase 4, although it's a larger size, we're still expecting 2 to 3 weeks on this itself, with maybe around 1,000 to 1,500 NFTs being minted in the first 24 hours tomorrow.
Awesome. Go ahead, Austin. I'm going to jump over their Discord too and show us around there.
No, yeah, definitely show that. I will want you to come back in a minute because I want to talk about the artwork. But Sam, to your, I think the question I have there was, lost it. Let's go to the artwork. Sorry. I had a question.
No problem.
Dementia, it's not a good thing. Okay. Okay. So earlier, Adam, we saw somebody walk behind you. I'm assuming that was Andy, right? The artist. So there he is. So I'm doxing Andy. He's like, didn't do my, you saw him, do you see him grab his hair? He's like, my hair okay? Yeah. Okay. So what I love is that Andy's the artist. He's one of the founders. He's there with you guys. So I think that is obviously big deal. By the way, love the art. So talk to me about a little bit about how you created it. The fact that you're in-house, all that stuff. So, and Sam, obviously chime in and add anything you want to add too. So
yeah, so we knew each other for quite a while. So the idea of the whale and the hydra, because we want to make our community whales basically, and we went for a killer whale because I remember when I was younger there was a movie called Free Willy, and it was quite and
I remember that
it was quite cool. And it's he's basically the king of the sea. So the clothing, the ideas, because we want to be a miner, and also because we have an idea maybe we might want to make a game in the future. So that was in my mind. So just keeping it a bit realistic for the game, and element of futuristic and things like that. And a lot of the one-on-ones are inspiration that of characters and animation and movies that I like. So you will see influence from Dragon Ball Z, One Piece, anime, Star Wars.
Yep.
There's a whale trooper. So just things that we all like. And
he locked himself away to do 800 plus traits. I think we may have 1,000 plus traits. We haven't finished counting them all for phase 5 now. Phase 4
traits.
Yeah, Andy disappeared for a long time.
So yeah,
it's because sometimes when you do let's say a shoe, and then it's I could change that to make something else, or I leave that and do something else. But then when the time that for launching, I was I want to use all the art that I made.
Yeah.
So but initially I wanted to have different color of some of the item. So a lot of stuff we don't have different colors. It's quite unique. But then there was also art that I wanted to make. I couldn't. So then we made that into one-on-ones as well. So
Wow.
It's because as well sometimes when you talk when the community was talking, they were
giving so many ideas.
And they were especially when you see fan art, that's something I would have thought that would happen, and it brought me because the way they were talking about it when Sam was doing AMA, so it made me put more effort in it. So it's like I knew like if this project like wouldn't work or whatever, like I enjoyed it at the beginning, so it was good. So I just if I had more time, like I would make sure like everything was
Too many traits.
I mean,
too many traits.
All you had to do was have 800 traits and drop the mic, and we would have been done. I mean, that's insane. And I thank you, Zach, for showing all this all the artwork in the background. I mean, I have looked at it, but I'm really looking at it as Zach is scrolling it up. And this is a really, we all been around NFTs for a while. This is truly some really nice artwork. Well done, sir. Truly. So.
Thank you. There's for this phase, there's a whale that I had the idea from the beginning. Like, to be honest, like I should have put a tail of it, like a tail, a whale. So like, but there's a 101 that had a tail, and it's quite. This one's going to be animated. The only one that's going to be animated.
So we're going to have a few kind of bounty programs. We've got a few one-of-ones in the next phase, and if you're going to mint them, you're going to be able to win some Ethereum back.
Yeah, nice. I got you.
Nice.
So thank you, Andy. I didn't mean to. I know you're like, whoa, you put me on the spot, but hey, that's how we roll. So you did good, man. So you're good. Sam, there was a question earlier, and I want to come back to it because this goes to your guys' transparency and your responsiveness to your community. This was some people are calling it the hack. It's not really what I call it, but I want you to talk to that. So can you tell people, A, what happened, and B, what you did? Because I really honestly applaud what you guys did. You guys stepped up. So I want you guys can you please talk about that?
Yeah, absolutely. We were kind of unfortunately part of a very, very targeted attack. Came from compromising a podcast account that wanted to get on a podcast with us. And it took weeks of them planning it out directly to us, trying to get us arranged on that. And then we woke up to kind of absolute heartbreak on a Sunday morning at about 5 a.m. calls from everyone. We had a phishing link posted in our Discord because of that compromise there. And unfortunately, a lot of holders did click it because obviously they trusted us, and I 100% understand that. And what we did is we managed to reclaim, we personally as founders, all 4 founders, we kind of scraped together approximately just under $60,000 of what our personal funds to actually kind of recoup all of these NFTs that had been stolen, including whales, and also including any other NFTs in crypto that was stolen from this as well. Because we're here for the long run. So I mean, no matter what someone wants to chuck at us, no matter how much it's going to break our heart, we're going to keep on powering through. So that was a very, very tough few days for us, but we managed to kind of rally on. And there were a few, there's always a few, you've got to look at it in a positive light, like because we swept up $60,000 worth of NFTs. The floor price went up, the volume went up, and we got picked up by all of these minting tools. We had an influx of new people hitting the Discord asking more about the project. So there's always a positive to it, even though it took a little while to see that positive, but there was still definitely something positive to it in the end.
Well, and Zach, this was like when I first talked to Sam, that's why I brought it up. And because Sam, he was like upfront, this happened, and what I love. So thank you for clarifying, for reiterating that story. I actually didn't remember what you just said, that you had an uptick and more people coming to you. What I loved is, it's sad to say we're all in crypto every single day. It's sad to say that I am really applauding your transparency and your active, meaning that should be happening in every project out there. Stuff happens, right? But all projects should be protecting their NFT holders or their token holders or whatever that situation may happen, but we see bad actors. And the fact that you guys did this to me says volumes about, number one, your character. Number two, how much you care about your community. And that's why I'm glad that somebody asked the question, because this is something that was a negative, but dude, it is a massive positive. And if I was you, honestly, unbiased opinion, I'd be wearing it as a badge of honor. I'd be talking about it and saying, this is what we did for our community. And I know you are, but I'm just giving you my 2 cents. So I'm going to turn it back over to you, Zach.
Yeah, and I agree with everything you just said there, Austin. And Daniel had a good question. It looks like Hydro Whales Mining Club's in the chat too. I know we're breaking our rules here. We're gonna just take some questions as they come in, maybe. Correct me if I'm wrong, but the projections here do not seem to account for decreases in miner rewards. But you guys said yes, they do. They're factored in. You want to just add a little bit to that?
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, the hash rate does decrease over time as the network difficulty increases. And of course, we have the halving of Bitcoin, very, very soon. So all of those are accounted for. So we've gone on a day-by-day average decrease in hash rate going on the mining operations there. And of course, we are stacking up new miners throughout the project as well. So it's never just going to be, set and done. It's not just going to be these couple hundred miners we're going to have. It's going to be stacking them up throughout as well. So we are going to be able to continually increase our Bitcoin output.
That's great stuff. And, somebody asked, I think a couple of people already asked the basic question, how can they mint tomorrow? It looks like right on the website, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll have a mint button directly on the website. But if you hop into our Discord, we're going to provide full instructions because we've got a few different ways you can mint. You can mint directly through normal ways, through MetaMask, with Ethereum, or you can actually mint with a credit card. So we've been working on an implementation on that. So we're going to have full details coming out tomorrow with all the minting instructions, all the correct and official links. So if anyone's confused or wants to use a credit card, hop into the Discord. It'll just be in the announcements channel, just saying these are the official instructions, follow them, and it'll break down everything you need to know.
Awesome. And
we got a lot of new people come in, right? It's at 1 p.m. Eastern tomorrow is when phase 4, final 4 starts, right?
Yeah, that's correct. Not long now.
Yeah. And guys, if you're looking for the Discord, just go to hydrowhalesclub.com too, and you can find it out, right here, right on the top. And you click that, head over there. So make sure you're locked in tomorrow. I know I'm going to mint a few. We were talking off air a little bit. Austin and I were saying we're just slowly getting into NFTs. And I know everybody else here in our audience, I think, is too, slowly but surely kind of coming around to it. And, that leads me into a question, Sam. It's, we see so many NFT projects out there that you really have to question, what's the utility here, right? But with your guys' project, it's pretty apparent here. But you want to speak more on the other utilities that owners of these NFTs have?
Yeah, no, of course. Of course, on top of being paid out for just holding an NFT, we do have a lot more to it. So one thing we really like to focus on is education. So, second to having those payouts, I think that's one of the other most important things we can offer. So, I mean, we're going to be having kind of regular masterclasses. We've already had a few done. So we've had kind of trading professionals come in. We've had a world champion boxer come in and give a kind of a mindset masterclass. We've done cybersecurity masterclasses. We're going to have legal tax masterclasses and all of these kind of things to kind of help educate our holders and better them for the long run. So that's one big belief for us is, education is incredibly powerful, and top that up with, the payouts you have. I mean, it's kind of an unstoppable combination. And of course we will be hosting a lot of real life events as well across the globe. We are going to have, we have a long-term vision for developing our own play to earn game. So this is going to be kind of down the 3 to 5 year mark as in a kind of a very early stage alpha, not publicly released or anything like that. So we're looking to kind of have a launch an MMO style NFT play to earn game in the very, very long run of this project. So that holders will be able to help sculpt this as we go, because a lot of our holders, played these nostalgic games like us as well. So they're going to be, throughout this journey, they're going to be helping us sculpt it and build this out for the longer run. And all of our holders are going to get kind of early and exclusive access to this as well to help test it out and perfect it before we end up releasing it to the general public.
I love that, man. And Austin, I know you probably have a question. I just got to speak real quick on the master classes. That is brilliant, man. It's so important.
I didn't know you were doing that.
And I heard you speak on that earlier, Sam, to the point of, taking control of your own destiny, right? Entrepreneurship. And that's really what crypto and NFTs allow you to do. So the fact that you guys have kind of baked that into the utility, I think is brilliant, man. I think it's a great idea. So go ahead, Austin. You want to jump in?
I agree. So I want to switch gears a little bit. I know we've covered obviously NFTs. That's who you guys are. I have really 2 questions. One having to do with kind of how you started and how you got to be here, and then the second has to do with the tokens that's coming. So number one, so if you go over to OpenSea, there, Zach, what's the holder count that you have right on OpenSea?
I think when I checked earlier, it's about 1,370 unique holders.
So
I keep an eye out all the time.
I know, I'm sure you do. You watch it.
1,400 right now.
Yeah. So, so Sam, when you and I first started talking, you guys are obviously a pure NFT project, right? And you're talking to a couple of we're really at the end of the day crypto YouTubers, and you have a crypto token coming. Going to get to that. But how did you guys get the word out about and acquire these 13 plus holders and convince people to spend $300-ish when you started? How did you first kind of get the word out?
So, I mean, we were fairly heavy on Twitter Spaces. We were kind of attending
Twitter Spaces like every other night, and throughout the whole day, like morning to night, 3 a.m., 6 a.m. sometimes. Like, it's been crazy.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it was a hardcore like organic push to start with. So we did have some marketing budget as well, but kind of behind it as well to give us that boost. So just kind of a few smaller things, kind of some paid media. Yeah. But the biggest push for us was kind of that organic focus. And I think that's what's built up a lot of trust because, we're actually putting our faces in it. We have nothing to hide. And I think it's key, who the team behind any project is. I think that's absolutely vital because these are the people that are going to be delivering the project. So that's why we've been putting ourselves right out there in front of everybody here for any criticism or anything like that. We're here to answer any questions and, and we can adapt if there's, any criticism. Okay, we can learn, maybe we can take it in a different direction. And that's what we're here for. And that's what we've done for the last 4 or 5 months. And obviously, as we've grown, we've done partnerships across YouTube, increased kind of paid media spend and kind of increased the intensity of the Twitter Spaces and AMAs and started doing mega spaces where we're talking to 1,500 people at once on those and just kept pushing through with them all.
That's awesome.
Let's definitely do a joint Twitter space too. I'd love to be a part of that.
We'll definitely do that. So yeah, you heard it here. We're gonna do a joint Twitter space with these guys as well. So yeah. So okay. So
is it cool if I take a couple questions from audience here?
Yeah.
I do want to talk about the token, but we'll talk. Tell us.
All right, all right, here we'll come back. I think Steve might be a avid Hydro Whales Mining Club holder because he's been in here early. He says, "Is it true that holders intend to support holders to get a ledger?" Is this something
yes.
that's been discussed?
So we're working on having kind of doing a very big bulk order with Ledger, getting kind of digital vouchers for every single kind of holder. It's not going to be per NFT, it's going to be per holder because our goal is just to kind of equip every single holder with, a cold wallet. They can store their whales safely, keep them locked away, keep them safe, don't ever get them connected to the internet. So we come from the IT security background, so we're always preaching these are the best minting method. This is how you secure them best. Obviously, ledgers, they're still not cheap. They're another £100. They're kind of awkward to get and awkward to learn about. So that's why we're really pushing for it. And I mean, I think we're doing around 80 ledgers away already. But we are trying to do a kind of a bigger bulk purchase. Obviously, it's going to end up probably being around 1,500 ledgers so far. But that'll be kind of in the next 2-3 months, see if we can get that done.
Awesome. And if anybody's just popping in, we're talking to the team from Hydro Whales. They've had 3 successful mint outs, completely minted out, 3 successful NFT launches already, a 4th one dropping tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern. So check out what they're doing. Awesome community. And Boca's got one. I know he's a gamer. Any idea of what style of RPG you'll be aiming for?
Yeah, so we kind of taken inspiration kind of from like World of Warcraft, old school RuneScape, and Final Fantasy. So we kind of something kind of a merger of those 3. But I mean, this is a longer term goal, and holders are going to get to sculpt as we go along the way. I mean, Andy is going to be doing kind of conceptual art throughout. I mean, you can even have a look at the top of the white paper. The first thing you see is kind of conceptual art on there as well. Because I mean, games are not a short time period to make; they take a long time. So this is going to be something we can perfect it and sculpt it according to what our community wants to start off with. Really.
Love that. Poor Man Investing. We'll take this one, and then Austin, if you want to jump in about the token, I think that'd be great. Can't join the Discord, unable to accept. I don't know. I just was able to join pretty easily. Poor Man. trying to think of what I did. I verified myself here and I got right in. It should be pretty simple, right, guys?
Yeah, it definitely should be. You can always try going direct. So it's just discord.gg/hydrawells, and that's just a direct invite link there. Or you can try go through the link on the Twitter. Maybe just give that another try, or just try an incognito maybe.
Okay. Yeah. Austin, you want to take us into the token conversation? And everybody out there, keep your questions rolling in. We're getting new people popping in here. Make sure you hit that like button too. Let's get up over 200 people in here hanging out and learning more about the project. That would really help us out. So go ahead and hit that like button real quick. Go ahead, Austin.
Yeah. So Sam, you mentioned earlier, obviously you are an NFT project. That's the core of who you guys are. But you have mentioned, and we mentioned it a couple of times, that you guys are planning on releasing your own token. So can you talk to me about, number one, why are you doing that? And number two, what at a high level, what can you share with us about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So essentially we are going to be having two different tokens. One is a rewards token and one is going to be a utility token. So without going into too much detail, because there's a few things that are just being ticked off in the token blueprint, that's going to come out in the next 2 to 3 weeks alongside the tokenomics paper, and just under a month on that. So that goes into the mathematical side of everything and breaks everything down to the T. But essentially, it's going to be another way to kind of increase your exposure to cryptocurrency mining. And this is something that we are going to be doing, rewarding holders with, and also opening up to the public to be able to get in with this and have an opportunity to also have exposure by holding this token and getting rewarded with it. Now, the utility token is going to be kind of vital for essentially creating the rewards token, and it's also going to have key benefits in the HydroWells ecosystem. So one thing we're doing with HydroWells is we're launching a range of different platforms on the blockchain to make getting into crypto easy, and just making any day-to-day things you do in crypto a hell of a lot easier as well. Because, like I keep saying, it can be a pain, especially if you're new to the space, new to crypto. It's confusing and complex. So that's what we're trying to do. So, for example, we are going to be launching kind of an escrow platform on the blockchain for, you can do NFTs, crypto, you can do an escrow, closing an escrow on a house, you can do all of those kind of things. They're going to be implemented. We are launching a smart contract generator and automatic deployment platform, a kind of a blockchain services marketplace. We have a huge range of different platforms that are going to be developed over the coming years, and these tokens are going to kind of play a key part. The utility token will, in kind of giving you, reduced pricing and other benefits on these in the long run.
Wow. Okay. There's like 18 questions I got to ask inside of that. I'm not going to dive too much into that. I will go back to the reward token because I want to confirm what I heard you say. So we know that if I hold one of the NFTs, I ultimately will be able to, I will be rewarded, in the future with the Bitcoin mining stream. But I heard you say I can also, and they're not mutually exclusive. I don't have to have an NFT and a token, right? I can just hold the token and I will have some type of a reward benefit as well. Is that what I heard? Just to make sure I heard that's what I heard you say, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So this token is kind of an additional reward. So our NFT holders will be getting this as well. So by holding an NFT, you will be getting rewarded with this on top of it. But this token is also going to be available for public sale as well.
Right. Okay, cool. I'll throw it back over to you, Zach.
Yeah, I just want to give a quick shout out to Hobbs. He's in the chat. He's another fellow YouTuber. We were actually talking about your project to him when, or I don't think Austin was with me, but I was actually with Hobbs in Atlanta. And he says the people in the shop would love to hear from you all as well. We love the education aspect you provide. The crypto space needs more of this, and couldn't agree more. Hobbs is also a dev member of a really cool NFT project, Banana Task Force Ape. I don't know if you guys have heard of that one too. So maybe we can link you guys up at some point. Maybe
absolutely
see how we can partner both these collections up. So great artwork on both sides. So SE has one. Have you guys have they gone over the benefits of holding a phase 1 whale? I don't think we got into that, Sam. Have we?
No, so having one of our phase 1 NFTs as kind of an additional incentive once we were kicking things off is by holding a phase 1 NFT is you can mint at your phase 1 price of $350 throughout all 4 phases. So this has kind of made them quite sought after. So I mean, they're selling for $1,000, $1,500 already on the secondary marketplace. And I know people are grabbing them ready for tomorrow so they can kind of mint a larger sum of them with that discounted price. However, this benefit only passes on once. So this NFT can only have been sold once on the secondary marketplace to kind of someone else that's going to use it. This is just to stop exploitation, someone just buying and selling just as they grab their NFTs. So it's kind of locked to the initial minter and then the kind of first person that actually purchases it on a secondary marketplace.
Great stuff. And just another reminder, Austin, you could jump in after this too. Another reminder, this is phase 4 that we're getting ready for tomorrow. And part of this phase 4, 50K of giveaways to NFT holders, 125 miners to be purchased and deployed, and purchasing of land in the sandbox for the community. I want to dig at that a little bit. Purchasing land in the sandbox.
Yeah, for us, it's an investment, I'd say. I mean, the Metaverse land prices are kind of, you look 2 to 3 years down the line, where is this going to be? So it's not just going to be an area for our holders. You know, if they want to hop into the Metaverse, into the sandbox, we could have our own area in there, and we can hold kind of virtual events rather than just being in a Twitter space, can't see anything. We can hold those events in the Metaverse there, private to NFT holders only. But then also we have the value of that, the appreciation of that land going up over the years. When we can always look to kind of exit from that in 3-4 years here. You know, if the price increases 50 times what it is, and we're not using it anymore, we can always do that.
Awesome, sorry, somebody called me dad.
I know. I had to bring up that comment. And dude, my bad. I said I was going to pitch it over to you, then I turned it into a question. But
man. So sorry, Sam, that was some pretty important stuff, and we're not being professional. I'll stop now. Okay. So you know, but no, that was cool. I hadn't, you know, the Metaverse thing, technical term thing. You know, it's definitely evolving, and you just gave a great offhand comment about how the Metaverse, how you guys already see it. In fact, I've been, you know, we all are aware of it and this, but that was really kind of a really cool, just like, oh yeah, and by the way, we can, instead of doing Twitter Spaces or whatever, we can do a Metaverse, you know, for NFT holders, and that's the kind of stuff that you like to hear, like utility again. And I always, because whenever I'm thinking about or looking at a project or frankly doing an AMA, it always comes back for me is, what is this project doing for their holders, their community? Are they being responsive in Discord? And we've talked about numerous things that you guys are already doing. And it just shows to me that you guys are going to be here for the long haul. We had some questions earlier, like, you know, what's your plans for 2 or 3 or 4 years? You yourself said earlier, Sam, that, you know, y'all are looking 5 years down the road. I think you guys definitely seem to, for sure, have the right vision and where you're trying to take that. So
we've got plans for 10 years and more. There's no end date for this project. I mean, as long as cryptocurrency still exists, we still exist. That's the beauty of us.
Okay, here's one. You don't know I'm going to ask you. You're like, oh my hell. What do you think, Sam, Adam, whoever wants to do or join this, Bitcoin? What do you think where do y'all see Bitcoin price a year from now?
A year from now, over 100K.
Okay. See, I'm less. I'm going for an average of around $54,000 or so over the next kind of 12, 18 months for it. It could spike to 80K, but I mean, I'm a bit more conservative around it. I mean, I'd love to see Bitcoin hit 100K because, you know, we'll probably be mining 5 Bitcoin every single month in a year's time or more.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we'd be very thankful if it hits that. But, you know, I like to keep it conservative just to play it on the safer side. So then we get pleasantly surprised instead of hitting 54K in year one.
To be very conservative across the board. Like in our white paper, all the numbers are conservative numbers. It's good in the long run, but yeah. I like
to slash everything. Okay, we work things out. We run the numbers. We go through it 10 times. I slash it and I slash it again. I like to, because then we can surprise ourselves and we can surprise the community because, you know, we have our projected payouts, but they're only projected. Right. We could absolutely beat them, and if we can pay out more than that, absolutely, I'd love to. I think that's why I've like said, okay, a year over the next 18 months, an average of $54,000 or something like that is what we're kind of looking for, not 100K. And hey, if it is 100K, I'm loving it.
Yeah, but that's really, Adam and Sam, I'm glad y'all brought that up. I mean, y'all just gave some really, really good gold there, right? Meaning like when you wrote the white paper projections, they're extremely conservative. Sam, I tend to be kind of like you, whatever that number is. I'm like, okay, let's cut that number by 40%. Is that still a damn good number? Yes, it is, right? 54,000 or whatever it may be. And we have the upside, but you guys just gave us some insight again into kind of behind the scenes of how you're running and managing the project just in the tone in a conversation. So that wasn't my objective, but that was pretty cool. So I was just curious what you guys think. Okay, so Ethereum, what do you think Ethereum will be with let's say June of next year? What do y'all think Ethereum will be?
Sam, I think do you have my projections? Because I've written down like I think 10 coin projections for the next 5 years.
Yeah, so we've got some projections that we've kind of taken from 10 plus different sources of industry experts.
Because they're 2.0 upgrades. Who knows how that's going to go?
Yeah.
Yeah, we will see in September, I think, is the new projected. I'm thinking around 2,500 is probably what we're going to be looking at. Yeah. 2,500, 3,000 or so, around those numbers.
Yeah, it's kind of a loaded
at the top. Yeah.
Well, because with obviously what's happening in September. Yeah. Okay. So Zach, I'm going to give it back to you, brother. And let's turn it over to Q&A because we got 15 minutes left or so.
Yes, definitely. Bring the questions on, and I'll start it off. I was just rolling through the white paper, and now I got to find it. But basically, getting at the various revenue streams. That's another big question people have. Like, how is this company generating revenue? And I think you guys tackled that really well. Obviously, the Bitcoin mining, but there's more than that. Now I can't find which page that was on. You guys probably have it memorized.
There's a lot of pages.
There it is. Page 10. I got it.
Page 10.
Yeah. Talk about the various revenue streams for the company.
Yeah, absolutely. So when we first started this project off, we were initially just focusing on mining Bitcoin and investing into DeFi projects with that cash flow and investing into crypto. But we've adapted as, we've seen the market conditions change and deteriorate, and to stop, to set ourselves up for both, a bear market in crypto, a terrible market, in the real world economy. We started to build out a much more diversified plan, which includes real world investing. So we're not just stuck on crypto. So we are having our own launchpad, which has already got a few exciting projects lined up as well. But I mean, we have investing into cryptocurrency. So we're allocating a portion of, the monthly mined revenue going into different altcoins, because obviously we all know they have some explosive gains. And if we're hedging our bets across 20 different tokens and putting a little by little every single month, just from that revenue we're producing, then we can think 3, 4, 5 years down the line, okay, maybe 15 of them haven't really done anything, but 5 of them could have 3,000x or 5,000x, because they do in the long run. You see some of these smaller tokens doing that. And then we have noding and staking. So because we're going to be getting into, just purchasing these different cryptocurrencies just to store in our treasury, it's kind of like, it's almost like, why wouldn't we make it work for even more? So we can put these tokens to work. We can put them into nodes and stake them, because we're keeping it liquid still. So then if we did need the funds to invest it into another project, we have the ability to take them out. But then these funds not only appreciate in value because of the tokens going up, we're also then being rewarded by the blockchain for, locking up those funds in a node to do all the validations and things like that. One big thing for us, we've kind of recently been in a lot of discussions with exchanges is liquidity providing. So this is going to be further down the line. We're going to be really kicking this off. So we can actually provide liquidity from our funds to, various different exchanges. So we're flying over to Dubai end of this month with a huge range of meetings set up with different exchanges, different people looking to set up and negotiate our rates for providing liquidity to them. There is Uniswap. They kind of have a publicly available percentages and things like that. But we can actually get higher kind of rates from going different routes with different exchanges. So we've got a huge range of things we're planning on doing. So I'd really encourage everyone to have a detailed read through that white paper, because I mean, it's 40 pages long. There's a lot to it. And I mean, it would take more than an hour just to talk through it all. It's really something you want to sit down, have a good cup of coffee and just read through it in the morning for a couple of days. get your head around what we're trying to do, because we're not just about Bitcoin mining. We're about building kind of a sustainable set of revenue streams for our community to come in every single day.
Yep. And I think that's so important. I think that's what is going to build a strong community and build upon an already strong community. So I think that's great stuff. One of my people in the Discord, Zay, is in here. He's already asking, is it a token or NFTs? He came in late. NFTs for now, but tokens coming. And then I think Jay King, same thing. What crypto will you pay out in? It's Bitcoin. Yeah.
So for that, it's going to likely be wrapped Bitcoin because we are on the Ethereum network. So that'll be paid out wrapped Bitcoin and airdropped that way. Then the investment payouts, they're going to be done in a form of stable coin. So our holders are going to get to vote on the exact tokens we use. We'll just produce information sheets about, the pros and cons, all the information we have around these different stable coins and wrap Bitcoin, and then allow our holders to actually vote and decide upon which token we'll pay out with.
Nice. I like that. Kind of like a DAO setup. Is there a DAO completely set up, or is it just kind of semi DAO?
Yeah, no, it's a DAO. So the community wallet itself needs to be voted on for any investments we make. So obviously we can bring them to the table for everyone with our, we have them audited, verified, and then bring them out to holders to look at, and holders can bring in different, projects for us to have vetted, because we have a legal team on our hand. We have a team kind of a financial analyst we're working with, and we're looking to actually have financial analysts full-time for Hydra Whales. So we are going to be, hiring this year. In the next few months, we're going to be building up our team for Hydra Whales only. So we have everything we do, every project we want to get into, heavily vetted.
I love it, man. I'm fired up. Have they mentioned that you get a free whale for every 10 you mint?
No, I don't think we have. Yes. So this is still going on in phase 4. So every 10 whales you mint, so not purchased from secondary market, but you mint, you get a bonus NFT. So if you are looking forward to grabbing 10 of our juicy NFTs, you can grab a bonus one too.
Awesome.
Wow.
Awesome. Austin, do you have anything? I'm looking through the chat here.
Man, we've covered a lot. So I'm going to throw it to whomever, Sam, either of you or Adam, what have we not covered? Anything you want to get out? What's something, that we haven't talked about, that thing over there, or anything you want to just throw at us?
And by the way, guys, we'll do a lot more of this too, to kind of talk about things we didn't hit on this one. So,
yep.
I guess I'd probably like to touch on the launchpad aspect in a little bit more detail. So we are lining up opportunities that you typically wouldn't be able to have. You need to be kind of an institutional investor to get to these kind of opportunities we're bringing. So we've been networking very hard, and we're very fortunate we have an extensive kind of network of connections because of from running multiple different businesses, exiting from multiple different businesses, kind of working around the globe. We are very, very fortunate we have that. So one of these projects we've lined up right now is essentially, it's going to be with physical gold. We like tangible things. I mean, I love crypto. We all do. But, when you can feel something, you can hold something, it's another real thing. It's another level. So we've lined up one opportunity already, which is going to allow Hydra Whales to kickstart a project that will be, brokering gold, physical gold, from ethical mining organizations directly to refineries in Dubai. To even have this level of access, you would have had to spend tens of millions of dollars to gain this level of access. But we found a previous company we've worked with before, a partner there, that we are able to actually kind of build a kind of a partnership there together, where we can have a crypto fund there rather than, they want to expand into the crypto space. We want access to physical gold. So we're leveraging these different partnerships so we can build great opportunities for Hydra Whales to push out there. And of course, because it's going through a launch pad, it will also be available to the general public as well if they wanted to get into things like these. And this is a project that we're going to be paying out monthly as well. So great cash flow for Hydra Whales, great cash flow for anyone else that wants to get in. And for this project, we are flying out to Dubai next month alongside all the other meetings we have with VCs, with exchanges. We are also going to physically vet all of the gold, all of the paperwork, and we're going to be inviting out a holder or two to actually come and have a look for themselves. They can see the supply chain. They can verify there's a physical gold bar they can pick up. They can match all their different IDs from the paperwork to the gold bar to make sure it's all good. So we have a lot of exciting things coming through this launchpad.
That's awesome. That's great stuff. Austin, do you have anything? There's something in the chat I'll get to.
No, go ahead. I'm just kind of processing, trying to decide how many of these little bad boys I want to met myself. So I'm doing math, which I suck at. So that's what you see me doing here.
Again, while you say that, so tomorrow 1 p.m. is phase 4, and quick reminder, I know there's new people coming in and people coming out. So this is phase 4. Already 3 successful, we'll call them mint outs, and this is phase 4, the biggest phase here. 4,999 NFTs to be minted, and we'll see when things open up tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern. So again, it's hydro whales that we're speaking with tonight. I know a lot of people just bouncing in. So Patrick's got
links, by the way, Zach, there's links in the description to everything down below. So
website and Twitter are down there. Check out the Discord. That'll be the #1 form of communication, it sounds like, Sam, for tomorrow.
Yeah, Discord's going to be the primary place for that.
Okay. Patrick's got one. I know he's mentioned this a couple of times. He says, projections in the white paper are very high. Would it be possible for you guys to provide more conservative projections? I think we started to talk about that a little bit. How did you come up with the projections? And if you want to speak to Patrick's question.
Yeah, absolutely. So we have a huge range of different revenue streams. So we've broken down that mining revenue in detail. Every project we're looking to do will also have a dedicated white paper alongside it. So we've already spent time doing all financial analysis. We're doing market analysis, competitor analysis. So we've already built up all of the information around everything we wanted to do, which is where the actual projections came from. And then we have slashed them because we like to cut them down. Hey, we have to appreciate we are in the crypto space. There is a lot of rapid growth in this industry. So it's not going to be your typical 5% a year, 10% a year things where you're doing real estate. The crypto space does grow a lot quicker, and we are getting access to institutional based kind of investment opportunities. Like I said, that gold project we have access to. So we're building out a huge range of things that you'd see a giant hedge fund doing. Like Blackwaters, they're managing something ridiculous. I can't even remember. It's like $107,000 billion worth of assets they're investing and having huge returns on every single year. So I like to kind of see ourselves as a crypto hedge fund initially powered with a foundation of Bitcoin mining. So we are actually having a new legal structure set up in Dubai. I'm going to be doing that over the next 12 months or so because there is a lot of licensing available for us to do. Because we want to have full crypto commercial licensing over there because there is plenty of more opportunities for us to do and scale up to. So year 4 and year 5 is where our projections do get, substantially higher. So for this, it's kind of a little bit more of a unique approach where we believe that regulations would have come into place by then, and we'd actually be able to safely issue kind of partial ownerships of these projects we're launching through our launchpad. Back to the holders, so that way then they can benefit from owning a partial share of that appreciation in that. Then we also have the ability, like I said, with the exchanges, the licensing we're looking to do in Dubai is actually go for kind of a holder owned DEX. So we have a holder owned kind of decentralized exchange there as well. So we're looking to piece together these much larger scale pieces in years 4 and 5.
Got it, man. I love the vision, the long-term vision of the project. I don't think many people have thought this far ahead, but it's great to see. And I think that's probably, that's why you see a lot of investor confidence in the project right now. And G Money asked, how do you get paid out? Paul Dutton responded, wrap BTC in stable coins. Right, Sam?
Yeah, that's the initial plan, and holders will get to vote on this just to confirm, but it's likely wrap Bitcoin and then stable coins.
Awesome. Do you guys have any parting ways? And we're going to be doing this more often too. So again, tomorrow, I'm going to beat this into the ground, 1 p.m. Eastern, phase 4 launching. And will you guys be live tweeting kind of as things are happening? Discord will be a combination of the two. How can people stay locked in?
Absolutely. Tomorrow? We'll be popping on Discord and Twitter. So we'll be pushing out updates.
Okay.
Like I said, we'll put full instructions in the Discord about how to mint, like how to mint with credit cards and all of those kind of things as well. So we'll have full instructions and all details to get going with that.
Awesome, man. Austin, do you have any parting ways, or Adam, anybody, Sam, anything you want to say to the people before we head out? Shout out to Muzz. Appreciate you, man. Says great job on the MA.
I think the one thing I want to say is that, I mean, Sam, you and I talked, and when we first decided to do this AMA, and I knew you guys did a lot. I will be honest, I have not read every single page of the white paper. 40 pages is a lot, especially with a teenager and a wife and other assorted things. So, but my point is this, where I'm going is this, is that I knew you guys did a lot, but to say that you're just an NFT project is a massive understatement by a million miles. The depth and the vision, that's really what I'm trying to get to. The vision of where you're taking this and all of the utility, I truly cannot remember another, I'm not even going to say NFT. I'm going to say crypto and NFT project combined that you guys are doing. There are some projects coming that have a lot of utility. They're going to be doing some stuff, but what you guys are doing is really, really, really cool. So I just wanted to applaud you for that.
No, we really appreciate you guys taking the time to host us on here and be able to talk to your audience. And, we really appreciate everyone listening in. And, if you want to learn more, please hop into our Discord. It's just discord.gg/HydroWhales. Official links on the website as well. I mean, we have a great welcoming community there. I mean, we as founders probably sleep very little right now. So you probably see us on there almost 24/7. So we're heavily involved in the community, but if we are asleep, we have a great kind of range of, other members on there and moderators that can help out with any questions you may have.
Awesome, man. Guys, really appreciate it. And looking forward to tomorrow. And I'll be minting a few. And thank you, everybody out there, for tuning in. Make sure you hit the like button, share this with a friend, and check out this project. Do a deep dive. It's needed because these guys are doing a lot. And as Austin said, it's not just your general NFT project. So, guys, really appreciate the time. And thank you, everybody out there, for listening. And we'll be doing this again, maybe next time on a Twitter space. What do we think?
Yeah, I think that's a good thing.
Sounds good.
All right. Yeah. Sounds good. All right, guys. Thank you all so much. And we'll see you all in the next one. Take care.
All right.
Thank you very much.